how do you differentiate between judging and being aware?
Judging always has a heaviness to it. Being aware always has a lightness. Now here's the interesting part that confuses most people. We have this idea that if we see a limitation that somebody's choosing, then we're judging. So for example, if we see somebody that is selfish, and we go, oh, well, I can't say they're selfish because then I'm judging. No, that's just an acknowledgement of where they're choosing to function. It's their choice. You acknowledging it doesn't stick them with it. They're already choosing it. Or you see somebody who's mean, and it's like, wow, they're mean. Okay, cool. Now, the great part about that is, if you see that somebody's mean, or you see that somebody's judgmental, or you see that somebody's selfish, and you just acknowledge it, you're like, cool, now you know what you're dealing with. Now you interact with them appropriately. What most people do is they know somebody is selfish, they've already seen it, they're already aware of it, and they go, oh, I'm judging, so I can't have that judgment. So they put that awareness out here, and now the person is continuously selfish with them, and trying to take things, I don't know, maybe trying to steal things, or always trying to get it working out for them instead of the other person. And this person sitting here who had the awareness, who decided it was a judgment, so now they won't allow themselves to see the person as selfish, is continually the effect of this selfish person. If they realize that negative awareness is not judgment. In other words, and I wouldn't even call it negative actually, but that's what most people call it, but awareness of limitation is not judgment. It's actually awareness, so it has a lightness to it. So you can look and go, oh, that person is selfish. Okay, cool, no point of view. If you're judging them and going, oh, I hate the fact that they're so selfish, that's a judgment. That has a heaviness to it. And the other thing is we keep having this idea that anything we think that's positive about somebody is not a judgment. That's an awareness. No, absolutely not true. Okay, so it works both ways. And so when we have this idea that anything we think is positive about them is good and anything we think is negative about them is bad, no, you have to see, okay, is this lighter or heavier when I think about this person this way? Like for example, when I was engaged 17 years ago, I had the judgment that she was perfect, which means, and the way judgment works is for any judgment you have, nothing that doesn't match that judgment can come into your awareness. So because I judged her as perfect, I couldn't see that she had been cheating on me. I couldn't see that she actually didn't really like me. I couldn't see that the only reason she was with me was because I was a chiropractor, even though at one point she said, you know, you're a chiropractor and I guess that's good enough for me, although I wish you were a real doctor. She literally said that to me. And I, because I judged that she was perfect, couldn't even see that she was totally invalidating who I was. So this is what judgment does. It kills us because we can't see what's actually occurring. And literally, we can't see when somebody invalidates us if we decide that they're perfect. And one of the other things that happens a lot in all kinds of self-development circles is we decide somebody who's been around longer is greater than us. Or, especially in metaphysics and spirituality, we have people telling us, I can see, oh my God, your energy is so intense. Wow, I see a red dragon around you. Oh, you have ancestors that have been there for 5,000 years. And they do this significant shit to do superiority on us, and we buy it. No, nobody knows more about you and your life than you do. Nobody is greater than you. And anybody who tells you they are, they're trying to prove that they're greater than you because secretly they're insecure. Because people always try to prove the opposite of what they believe they are. So when they're insecure, they'll try to prove that they're greater than you by proving that they can see energies you can't and all this stuff. And the appropriate response when somebody does that is this.
I did experience that, especially doing this project where people expect you to kind of worship them in a way. And the more they did that, the more I felt like I want to go away.
Yeah. Exactly.
It works the other way around.
And that's appropriate. That is as it should be. You know, when somebody expects you to worship them, it's like that's coming from a deep-seated need in their world that has nothing to do with anybody else. And, you know, for me, I want playmates. I hate followers. You know, in other words, people who are like, oh, you're great and I'm not. I'm like, oh. There's nothing that frustrates me more. Well, pretty much nothing that frustrates me more, because for me, I want to see people who are willing to go, okay, man, I'm willing to be as great as I am, because that creates a greater possibility for the world. People who need to see somebody else as great, or people who need to prove that they're better than other people, that's the same world we already live in that sucks for all of us. Let's do something different. That's a lot more fun. Let's play.